we focus on helping you claim what's rightfully yours, your health, and your freedom. We explore the three main areas of health: the physical realm, the biochemical realm, and the mental and emotional realm. We also explore all the areas of lifestyle we can find that will help you live more abundantly, regardless of where you're starting. And remember, in life, you'll either make excuses or create results. You choose. I'm your host, Dr. Josh Hant, and I'm glad to be with you here today. Make sure to head on down to the show notes and click on the link to join our tribe of human-powered life heroes, where we'll update you on new shows, events, product launches, and so much more. Now, it's time to enjoy the show. Hey, it's Dr. Josh Hant here for the Human Powered Life podcast. And today, you get me. I want to share something very powerful with you, a great concept that I learned from a mentor years ago, and I embrace this concept. It's not an easy concept, but it is an easy concept. And the concept is this: change is easy. Thinking about change is hard. That comes from a friend, a mentor, Dr. Eric Plasker, chiropractor, creator of the 100-Year Lifestyle. And he applies this to help people with their lifestyle becoming healthier. And I want to share how this has impacted my life and how I think it can make a huge difference and a huge change in your life moving forward from today's recording. And I understand many of you are probably listening to this on a commute, whether it's in a car, a train, a bike, whatever it may be. Some may be listening to it in the gym. This is not going to be 30, 40, 50-minute episode. So this is going to be a deep, fast, and really encouraging episode for you to just be better. So when it comes to change, I'm going to share just a couple of concepts, a couple of areas in my life that I'm not sure if I've shared completely with all of you in the past, but I'm going to share some of it with you now. So areas that I've had some major change in my life happened early in my 2000s. And the first change I had to do was a decision of what I wanted to do with my life. So I went to graduate school. I was graduating with a marketing and finance degree. And what I found out as I was getting to the end of this coursework, as I was interning at Sony Pictures in Manhattan, I was offered a nice job with a nice view. I believe I was on something like the 16th floor. And, sitting looking out the window, and I had a really great opportunity in my hands, right? A job, get paid, great view. I actually liked the people I worked with. I actually had a private office as an intern with 2 computers with a view. It was quite amazing. And I'm sitting staring out the window on my computer, and you'll laugh, all of you, that if you're younger than your mid 40s, I had my computer monitors were these ones that were like almost a foot and a half deep, 15-inch monitor. And I'm staring at these 2 monitors. I have Excel spreadsheets looking at data. I was in market research with Sony and as an intern. And I'm looking out and realizing, this is not where I want to be in 30 years. This is not where I want to be in 30 years. Like, am I going to see myself sitting, staring out this window, staring at monitors, getting thicker and thicker glasses by the minute? Is this what I'm destined to do? And I just decided, hey, I'm going to pull the trigger. Because, just sitting and thinking about this was really, really challenging. Going, my God, I'm going to be sitting at a desk for the rest of my life. And I understand that that's great for some people, but it definitely was not great for me. Definitely not great for me. So I'm staring out this window. I make a decision, whatever day it was. I don't even remember the exact day. And I decided I need to go take a couple science classes. I need to do this. My parents recommended this during undergrad. And I remember taking I think it was called environmental chemistry. It was a very hard class. I took it when I was in school in Vermont as a scholarship skier. And I'm taking this environmental chemistry class, and we're dissecting a hot dog, and not just cutting it open, looking at it, eating the darn thing. We're actually figuring out what's in it, what body parts are in it, and this was a hard class. And from that point on, I didn't eat hot dogs for God knows how long, more than a decade after that. But I'm never ever taking a science class again, and I didn't. So I'm now in the Sony building, looking out the window, deciding I need to start taking a couple science classes to see if maybe this chiropractic thing or this healthcare thing might be an opportunity for me. Frankly, I was really good at the creative portion of learning. Marketing was fantastic for me because it involved thinking, not just memorization. And when you're going into the sciences, you have to have some thinking, but you need a lot of memorization when you're learning body parts and chemistries and, molecular formulas and all of these things that were so out of my wheelhouse. So I bit the bullet. I registered for an anatomy and physiology class in undergrad as a summer course. And so, you know what? I'm just going to see if this thing works, see if I like anatomy and physiology. Frankly, if I'm going to be a chiropractor in healthcare, I want to be working with human bodies. It's one capacity or another. So I go, I don't remember, I wish I could remember the professor's name. I'm in her class. And as we're going through the course in the summer, it's very intense. It's many hours a day of class. I think it was something like 4 or 6 weeks or whatever it may have been. And I fell in love with anatomy and physiology. And during that first class, that first quarter, I don't even know, summer semester, whatever they called it, of anatomy and physiology, I made the decision saying, I am going to become a chiropractor. The body is so fascinating. The central nervous system, this master control system, controls every single cell function in the human body. Holy crap, this is really, really cool. So if that system is working really well, people can be really well, and I need to learn how to do more. So during that time, I went and applied, right? So this is the change part. Like, thinking about it was tough when I was sitting in that window, looking at that window in the Sony building. But going into it, the change became very easy because I was able to make decisions much faster. Once I got through the fear, it happened very fast. So I applied to chiropractic college, and they said, listen, you need all of these sciences. And I ended up going through summer school, through college summer school, and taking all of my sciences over the course of a summer. I was told by advisors that you're going to fail. And I said, no way. Hey, we're giving you a short break here where you can head down to the show notes or lifestylelocker.com and join our tribe of human-powered life heroes. You'll be the first to know about new shows, events, product launches, affiliate specials, and more. And now, back to the show. I'm going to become a chiropractor. I need to get to chiropractic college. And at this point, big things were happening and life was shifting and changing. So I end up, long story short, you'd all know I'm a chiropractor. So it was a huge shift and a huge change. Thinking about it was challenging. Making those steps, once I put the hammer down and put my passion into it, I was able to charge forward, and the change was very easy. The thinking about it part was hard. Another one I'll share with you was graduation and getting into deciding what I wanted to do. So I'll bring you back into the beginning of chiropractic school. So when we start, I'm engaged to my now wife, Meredith. And, I told her, listen, I'm going to be moving down. We're going to be moving down to Florida, going to chiropractic college down there, because I figured it'd be better than sitting in Iowa summers and winters, which is either like 130 degrees with mosquitoes the size of cats, and then winters that are 100 below zero. Or we'll go to Florida, where we have a beach 3 miles away from the campus. That wouldn't suck. So she really did not want to go down. It was almost like pulling teeth, if you will, like, oh, I got to move to Florida. It's going to be so hot. It's going to be miserable. It's flat, blah, blah, blah. All of these things that are going through our minds. But I figured the beach was better than freezing our asses off or sweating our asses off and being attacked by giant, large, bugs of prey. But so we get down and we're getting ready to leave. And we had made a decision early on saying, great, you know what? since neither of us necessarily really wanted to stay in Florida early on in the game, we made a plan to move back to New York at the end of when I graduate. And maybe during my internship, I'll work with my father, learn some of the ropes so I can hit the ground running right out of school. And as we get closer to that end, there was like, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Do we want to move now? We already have all of these plans in place. I already have the internship set up. And I also have my license getting started, getting ready to apply for my license in New York and all these pieces of the puzzle. Meredith, my wife, doesn't want to leave. She loves Florida, but she realized this is our commitment. This is what we wanted to do. So we're going to end up moving back to New York, which was definitely a challenge mentally. But once we pulled the trigger, we didn't look back. We moved forward. We moved to New York. I started practice. She started working again in New York State, doing the same thing she does as a speech and language pathologist. And I love her. She's fantastic at what she does. But it was definitely a big challenge, thinking about this for all of us, for both of us. But then we put the hammer down. We were able to make these changes. And, fast forward, this is 2006. We're now in 2023. And yeah, are there times maybe over the past 2-3 years we wish we had stayed in Florida? 100%. I love freedom, as you can see my shirt says. And New York definitely wasn't leading the country in freedom. So, we wish we went back there during the pandemic, but we did not. So we hunkered down. We got our work done. We really made do. So change can be really easy, but thinking about it in the process can be really, really hard. So sometimes pulling the trigger and doing things in a quick way can make things in the process of evolution for yourself better. And right now, as I am talking to all of you, to you specifically, for those of you maybe listening in New York City, we are expanding our chiropractic practice in a new way. We're going to be doing some new things in practice. We're going to be doing some minor renovations in the office, making things, prettier, updating certain things. But we're going to be implementing new programs, which we're going to be training on over the next couple of months here as a team. We're going to hit some niche markets that need our help. And we're going to be using some really amazing proven techniques to actually help people with things like neuropathy, things like different metabolic diseases. We're going to be able to plug people into a system that's going to get results. And to bring this all full circle with the thinking about, change is easy, thinking about it's hard. There's a lot of things that had to happen. There's a lot of things that are happening at the same time. And I can tell you, I get stressed out like the rest of us. And the process is going great. We're going to start to implement all these things. It's going to cost this much for us to do the training and go through the process. We're doing this renovation. We're bringing a new doc on and training a new doc. We're changing some softwares in the office. So I have all of these things. And another friend, Brad Glowacki, another chiropractor, talks about being a pig and a python. And that's what I feel like. I feel like, there's just so much going on. The change is maybe a little challenging, but thinking about all of this to do this takes time and doesn't necessarily need to take time. So it's easy for me to drag my feet when things are hard. And I'm working myself on not doing that because I've realized in the early stages now of what I call my ultra running career as an athlete, that sometimes you have to embrace the suck on a regular basis, because the light at the end of this tunnel, or in the tunnel, I should say, not even at the end, in this tunnel is going to be amazing. You just have to put yourself out there and just do it, because the change is easy once you get going. Thinking about it is hard. And there's a saying I want to leave you all with to think about as you move forward in your different changes and evolution in health and in life, is that change is easy. Thinking about change is hard. And that the universe is conspiring for you always. Just listen to the messages that are given, whether it's starting a new career, whether it's graduating from college and picking your first career, whether it's running your first 5K, 10K marathon, ultra marathon, whatever it is, The universe is conspiring for you, and there are always lessons to be learned. And I know all of you are willing to take some of these challenges and some of these chances to be better, to be a better version of yourself, to evolve as a person. Because I will tell you, when you do good for you, it enables you to do good for others. It's very powerful. When you do good for you, it helps you do good for others. And I know everyone that is listening, I know you specifically that's listening right now, have this in you. I know you have this deep desire to do something better, to do a challenge, to take on a new thing in life, to ask that girl or guy out on a date, whatever it may be. Do it. Do it. Stop thinking about it because that's challenging, and just make the change you want. What is the worst thing that can happen in most of these scenarios? Someone says no, you fail, and then you learn from the problem, and then you can charge forward again. So realize the universe is conspiring for you. Doing hard things is good for you. And once again, change is easy. Thinking about change is hard. All right, everyone. Have a beautiful day, evening, or night from wherever you're listening and or watching. I'll see you soon on the next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Human Powered Life podcast. Make sure to head over to lifestylelocker.com to check out all the details on the show and to watch part 2 of this episode, which is only in video format. We also have this audio portion in video format if you want. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. Josh Hant, for the Human Powered Life podcast, and I'm looking forward to staying connected with you as a Human Powered Life hero. Remember to join the tribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.